Hi everyone, it's Jeff Hopper back with Jeff Cranford. We've been talking about threads of righteousness. And when we left off last time, I mentioned that we know scripturally that there are a number of things that qualify as righteousness or aspects of righteousness, things that we might do well. And they show up in the Old Testament, and we find them threaded through to the New Testament. And that's why we don't stand here on this end and say, well, that's just a bunch of old stuff that doesn't belong to us anymore. Or that's the Old Testament God. Sometimes you'll hear people say that as well, and not the New. No, these are things that show up all the way through. So let's kind of go through these one by one and talk about some of these. And I want to start with what really leads off the Ten Commandments. You shall have no other gods, basically. The singularity of God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. You gave us that out of Mark 12. And so we see that maybe the foundational aspect of righteousness is I'm taking God, Yahweh, the creator God of the ancient Hebrews all the way to who we are, those who believe in him through Jesus Christ, and say, this is my singular person of worship, my one deity. And from there, I take all my cues.
Yeah, that's I think a lot of us, certainly in the 21st century, even if you consider yourself a Christian, would say, well, I don't have any other gods. I don't have any Buddha statues at home where I get down and rub the belly of the Buddha, and I don't have, so I don't have any problem with that. And obviously, I think this is a place of priority. I think what God is saying is, I want to give you life. I mean, the reason that Jesus came is to give life and life more abundantly. And any other God, any other priority other than me, in terms of the singularity, as you said, of that one preeminent place in their life, anything other than that is going to steal life from you. I was reading an article this morning before we came, and it just talked about in the first 15 minutes, almost everyone picks up their phone now. The first, from the time they wake up in the morning, within the first 15 minutes, and a large percentage of like millennials and more tech-savvy folks will, the very first thing, their eyes will open, and they'll reach over and they'll check their emails or check the weather or whatever they're going to check, or Facebook or whatever they're going to check, they're going to check. And as you look at that, and this is a secular art, it was actually not a secular article, interestingly enough, but it said it steals something from you. It's all of a sudden you're concerned about Putin in the first 5-10 minutes of waking up and what's going on in the Ukraine, or what's going on in Gaza, or what's going on, in your neighborhood. And rather than having that singular focus of being able to get up and, Lord, thank you for this day, for Thanksgiving and power and just a simple little practical step of getting up in the morning. And it convicted me, actually, and getting up in the morning, immediately going into my office and getting down on my knees and saying, Father, thank you. And just go through a list of things I'm thankful for. I maybe have some problems in my life, but how many things am I thankful for? And worshiping God, and maybe just going through the prayer, a little prayer or something to get us going. It's one of the reasons, and Jeff does such a beautiful job with the Daily Devotional for all these years. I know a lot of our people get up and they say, the first thing I do in the morning is I get up and I open the Daily Devotional and I read the devotional. And it's a really powerful thing because it gets us focused on that. So I think we need to think away from, well, I'm really a follower of 4 different gods. I don't really think we struggle with that multiple gods anymore, but I think what we do struggle with is just not prioritizing God enough, and as a result of that, it's stealing life from us. And it's life that Jesus wants to give back. So just prioritize a relationship. That to me is the first commandment, and that's consistent Old Testament, and it's all the way through the New Testament. There's no break in that. Actually, Jesus extended the ability to have a relationship with God when he went to the cross. So that's not something that's just the same. It's actually increased the capacity to have a relationship and have no other gods before him.
I want to talk to you about one other thing that has to do with this same subject, and that has to do with kind of the plurality, the universality that is common in our time, where people say, well, this God is the same as the Muslim God or the Buddhist God. They're all the same God. Let's talk about that next time.
Sounds good.